Where are we off to?
Hospital.
What are we going to hospital for?
To get results on my MRI.
Yeah. So Dom had an MRI last Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. Now Wednesday, and we're going to see what's happening on the inside. But we're feeling pretty good about it, so we'll see what comes of it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've got Dom with me today. We just thought we'd sit down and run through the results of Dom's MRI. Dom had an MRI on May the 4th, and we got the results on the 9th. Dom had decided that he didn't want to do chemo anymore after February. Was it February your last lot?
The second lot, yeah.
Yeah, so he had his first 6 weeks of chemo, and then he did another 4 days a month later, and he decided that he didn't want to do it anymore. He ended up in hospital, got extremely sick, couldn't breathe. He didn't sleep for 4 days straight because his body was so stressed. No more of that, so he has just been continuing with his natural therapies. February was his last MRI, and then his next one was in May, as I just said. And so that was 3 months with only 4 days of chemo. So yeah, we went up to Charlie's to get Dom's results, and what did they say?
They said that it was pretty much dormant, the cancer. The cancer hasn't grown.
In 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of their chemo shit.
Yeah. The MRI before the February one, so 6 months ago, there was a 3 month gap with chemo and radiation in that 3 months, and the tumour that was in there had grown almost 12 millimetres. So that's with their chemo and radiation, and then without, in the same amount of time, it hasn't grown at all. So we are beyond happy with that. We're going to continue working how we have been going.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? Tell them what you've been doing.
A bit of everything. I've been doing apricot kernels, but I ramped it up a bit too high and poisoned myself, so I felt like I was on chemo again.
It's like a toxic overload. He was so sick for probably a day and a half, and he was grey in the face. Like,
yeah. Got myself to blame for that, but I was doing keto diet as well. I'm still on that. Cut meat out of my diet altogether. Cut coffee out. Sea water. Frankincense. I've been putting frankincense in the top of my mouth. It's pretty horrible at the start, but now I'm pretty used to it.
I'm putting it on topically as well. Like, since Dom was in hospital, when he first got diagnosed, that was one of the first things I read about, was the frankincense oil being used topically and internally, but we hadn't found, or I hadn't really looked hard enough to find an oil that was safe to use internally. But yeah, with some guidance from people around us, we found that the doTERRA frankincense is more than safe to be used.
Oh yeah, Jenny's Jamu, been drinking that as well every day. Just try to get out as much as possible as well. Yeah. Try to keep my mind going.
Dom has had a couple of kinesiology sessions, so they're pretty interesting. He has been to one, and then I went to one as a surrogate of him, and it was very interesting. The first one said that he has got a lot of glutamate in his brain, in his head, which is what goes in and makes room for the tumour to grow. So from what I read, it's a bit like scar tissue, yeah, sort of. That's the easiest way to explain it, I guess. So it goes in and makes room for the tumour, so there's a lot of empty space still there. So we've been working on that we've completely cut out glutamine from his diet. I was giving it to him quite a bit, and then I found out that it actually cancer thrives off of it, so it's not the best thing to have.
I get my energy from the ground or something.
Yeah, from being grounded. So that was his message that he received in his kinesiology session, and we kind of already knew that he loves being outdoors and in the fresh air, but it was just a sign to get out more. So as part of Dom's therapy is to be going camping and exploring and going on adventures as much as we can. So it's pretty much every fortnight, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we've been going, sometimes weekly, but yeah, you just get out, get in the fresh air, and yeah, you just have no stress. That bloody dog. You have no stresses when you're out in the wilderness with no connection back to home. You have nothing to worry about. All of your worries just disappear. Hey. It's also very good for Dom to be on uneven ground and have his feet in the dirt to absorb nutrients and things like that, and also for his physical side of things, balancing. And Dom has been a bit more adventurous with his what's it called? Your physical side of things. That sounds so bad. Tell them what you've been doing.
Nothing. Just trying to be normal again.
So what did you do? What's your achievement this month?
I rode a push bike, stacked it off a push bike.
So hang on a minute. The first time he rode a push bike without falling off. The second time you rode a push bike and you weren't actually riding when you fell off.
No, I stopped and fell in the garden bed.
Yeah. Has driven a manual car, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty good feeling for him, I think.
Climbed the ladder.
Yeah. At a playground and went on Flying Fox. Oh God. Throughout this whole time, Dom has been using legal CBD oil. I guess it's helped him relax, and it just makes him feel like he's doing something, and I think the power of positivity has got a lot to answer for. Getting these good results from the hospital has just given us a whole lot more motivation and inspiration to keep going on how we're going. Even though Dom's cancer had not progressed at all, the doctors did try to force chemo onto Dom. There was a lady in the room who was obviously doing our appointment, and she was trying to push Dom into it, even though she said she respects our wishes. And then she went and got another lady who is above her, who's meant to be Dom's doctor, and she came in the room and tried to push it on Dom. Dom wouldn't have a bar of it, so she tried to push it on myself. I don't think she realised that, yeah, I'm 100% supportive of Dom's decision, no matter, even if he said he wanted to do chemo, I'd still be supporting him. It's his decision, it's his body, and I do believe that he knows best over everyone else. No one else knows.
Thank you.
Yeah, no one else knows what he needs. It's his body, and he's got to trust his gut. So, and that's what he's doing, and he has taken things in his own hands. Hey, started doing everything yourself now. I mean, like your food and everything. Like you have done all you're doing research and things like that, getting recipes and baking. He's become a little whiz in the kitchen. He actually always was a whiz in the kitchen, but now he's making all these healthy foods that are just amazing. So I hope you have enjoyed this update. We would just like to thank everyone for your ongoing support and messages, and yeah, everything that everyone does for us. It does not go unnoticed. We do really want to be around people that are uplifting, and people that don't want to drag us down and tell us that we're not doing the right things. So everyone that we have been around has been really supportive of our decisions, even if it's something different to what they would be doing. Everyone has been great. So yeah, we just wanted to say a big thank you. Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for following Dom's journey. If you liked this video, could you please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and comment on YouTube to show your support, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
I'll smash it.